What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this prediction video. Now, for those of us who are very interested in the Spanish La Liga, this is the big one. On the 21st of April, that is the Sunday, we have the Spanish El Clasico. So the big one between Real Madrid and Barcelona, and this one is taking place at the Santiago Bernabeu in Madrid. Now, the last time we had an El Clasico was in the Spanish Super Cup final on the 14th of January. I think at that point everybody already knew that Real Madrid, I think, was just a step above Barcelona. And it was proven very, very early on in the match when in the 7th minute, Vinicius Jr. is just played in behind Barcelona's defense and he has acres of space, enough to round the keeper and slot the ball into an empty net. And things got worse for the Blaugrana when 3 minutes later in the 10th minute, the same man, Vinicius Jr., is played in again and again just gets a finish. So now it's 2-0 to Real Madrid and Barcelona are left scratching their heads, and it just looks so easy for Los Blancos. In the 33rd minute, however, Barcelona finally put a bit of pressure on Real Madrid's goalpost, and Robert Lewandowski was able to volley the ball from out of the box. Ironically, Barca's number 9 is the player who is the furthest from all the attacking players from Real Madrid's goal, but he manages to volley the ball into the net, and now it's 2-1, so Barca have a bit of a fighting chance. But once again, clumsy defending from Barcelona from a certain player who's maybe lacked a bit of composure in multiple matches this season, Ronald Araujo, fouling Vinicius Jr. in the box, and the Brazilian is not going to miss from the penalty spot. 39 minutes in, Real Madrid 3, Barcelona 1. And the icing was put on the cake for Los Blancos in the 64th minute when, again, Vinicius Jr. with a crucial role in this one, getting the assist, passing the ball into Barcelona's box, and somebody tries to defend it, they poke the ball, and it ends up at Rodrigo's feet, and he just slots it past the keeper. The final score, Real Madrid 4, Barcelona 1. Los Blancos triumphant. Vinicius Jr. with a hat-trick against his club's most hated rivals, while for Barcelona, they really just didn't look like a team that should have been competing in any kind of final on the day. We start off our team analysis with the home side here being Real Madrid. The last 5 for Los Blancos have ended in 4 wins and a single draw. So they come into this one on a bit of an unbeaten streak. Their last match was their draw, a 1-1 draw against Manchester City at the Etihad in the UEFA Champions League earlier this week. Real Madrid went on to win the match on penalties though. So it was a very good display from them, having had to just go away from home at a stadium where they struggle usually, and just get the job done. In these last 5 fixtures, Real Madrid have scored 11 and conceded 6. They actually have 2 clean sheets in those last 5 matches, so defensively they're looking good. Obviously, we got to start out with the first player that I want to highlight here, and that is Vinicius Jr. with 18 goals and 10 assists. From all of Real Madrid's attacking players right now, Vinicius Jr. is looking like the one who isn't really grabbing the headlines much, but when we take into consideration how he has been a nightmare for Barcelona to deal with, I think we're going to see something special from Vinicius Jr. again. The pace that Real Madrid's entire front line has just makes it so difficult for Barcelona to deal with, and Vinicius Jr. is the kind of player who loves to play on the defender's shoulders, and I think he's going to end up doing that again here and probably getting a goal, an assist, or maybe both. Next up, I want to look at Jude Bellingham with 20 goals and 10 assists. I think Jude Bellingham has been so good this season that if he wins the Ballon d'Or, I think it is completely warranted. There's so much chatter about Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, and then you think about it, Jude Bellingham is competing on that front from midfield. The other 2 are strikers. 30 goal contributions for Real Madrid this season is nothing to scoff at. Jude Bellingham has been just fantastic, able to play pretty much anywhere up front where Ancelotti wants him to play, whether it's up front as a centre forward, out wide as a winger, deeper in as a central midfielder, or even just behind the strikers as a number 10. Jude Bellingham has pretty much everything that is necessary to thrive at Real Madrid right now. And finally, I want to talk Rodrigo with 17 goals and 8 assists. Rodrigo was the player who scored that goal for Real Madrid against Manchester City. And like Vinicius Jr. and Jude Bellingham, he's quick, he's clever, he's intelligent, Rodrigo immediately, as soon as he gets the ball at his feet, knows exactly what he wants to do with it. And he's got the tactical ability and the technical know-how to make it happen. Okay, next up we look at Barcelona. Now, the last 5 fixtures for the Blaugrana have ended in 4 wins and 1 loss. That one loss was a 4-1 loss at home against PSG in the Champions League earlier this week. It was a match where, again, Barcelona's defensive frailties were just completely exposed. In their last 5, however, Barcelona have scored 9 and conceded 6, but they've kept 3 clean sheets. Regardless, I think 3 players we can focus on for Barcelona. Number 1, Ilkay Gundogan. 5 goals and 11 assists. Maybe Gundogan is not getting big numbers in terms of goals and goal output, but I think what Gundogan brings to this team is this leadership, this fighting spirit, this motivation. I think right now Barcelona players are maybe not respecting Gundogan, and I think they've forgotten that this is a player who's come off winning a treble with Manchester City. He still has it fresh in his mind what it means to lift Europe's most prized trophy. And these players, for some reason, seem to think a little bit too much of themselves and a little bit too little of Gundogan. Next up, I want to talk Pedri with 2 goals and 5 assists. Pedri has the potential to dribble, he has the potential to take on players, he has the potential to create great attacking plays. It was something that was sorely lacking against PSG midweek. Usually we like to see Pedri play that kind of Iniesta style, that way he played in Paris. That was nowhere to be found in Spain against PSG. For some reason, Pedri adopted the mentality as well, where we just move the ball from side to side, we try and probe, and we just defend with our lives, as opposed to doing what Pedri does best, which is taking the game to the opposition. And finally, I want to talk João Felix with 10 goals and 6 assists. I think in terms of Barcelona's front line, I genuinely do believe that João Felix could be the future. João Felix has the ability to just be so difficult to handle out wide. He's got the ability to score great goals, whether it's with his feet or his head. Creatively, I think he's very, very good. There may be just 1 or 2 things that need to be refined in his game, but he's also got so much pace, and I just think they are not taking full advantage of that right now. Okay, on to the head-to-head and the S3M2 Verdict. Now, the last 5 El Clasicos have ended in 3 wins for Real Madrid and 2 wins for Barcelona. Strangely enough, this is one of those fixtures where Barcelona tend to play a little better at home. It's weird to think about it, but Barca have been great on the road this season and they've struggled at home. In these El Clasicos, however, Real Madrid have scored 11 and Barcelona have scored 7. So you can see there's been a massive paradigm shift in the balance of power in Spain. Real Madrid have once again cemented their position at the top of La Liga. If we look at the league table, Real Madrid right now are first with 78 points, while Barcelona are second with 70 points. This is the only trophy that Barcelona have left to compete for, while Real Madrid are in a very strong position to just see out La Liga right now, and they're still competing in the Champions League. I think at this point, a victory for Barcelona does nothing except postpone the inevitable. The best they can do is just close the gap on Real Madrid, but I don't see Los Blancos having some sort of dramatic collapse and then Barcelona taking the top of or taking the summit of La Liga. If Barcelona, for example, were in a position where Girona were earlier on in the season, where they were fighting with Real Madrid for their top spot, I think maybe Barca would have been at the top of La Liga right now. If you look at how much ground Barcelona had to make up in a short space of time, at one point they were fighting for 4th spot and now they're 2nd, and they have a bit of distance between them and 3rd place Girona. I think it's 5 points. It goes to show that Barcelona have the potential to be really good. In that match against PSG, however, they were really bad at home. The defenders lacked discipline. They just seemed so unfocused. I'm sorry if this comes off as a personal attack on a certain player, but Araujo just has not been good enough. He got a red card in that El Clasico in the Spanish Super Cup against Real Madrid. It was 2 yellows and then obviously the sending off. that penalty that Vinicius Jr. was awarded to score the third goal was because of a clumsy challenge from Araujo. It kind of feels right now that Araujo doesn't have faith in his goalkeeper. That is so disappointing because I think Ter Stegen is one of the best goalkeepers in the world right now. Real Madrid, on the other hand, was the complete opposite. They got a goal early against Manchester City. They defended with their lives, but it was disciplined, it was composed, and it was mature defending. Fair enough, they did concede that goal from Kevin De Bruyne, but then they went out and they continued to defend in extra time. They shut Man City out, they frustrated the citizens, and then they went out and they won on penalties. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Real Madrid went out and won. Barcelona went out and embarrassed themselves. I really do think that match against PSG was a missed opportunity and they need to get it out of their heads as soon as possible. I think this is going to be a season where Barcelona ended without any trophies. And they need to be okay with that. They need to have faith in Xavi's project. I think when I look at what Xavi is doing, bringing up the young players, not spending disgusting and exorbitant amounts of money in the transfer market, I have faith in what he's doing at Barcelona. And I hope that Barcelona fans also have faith in their coach. I think Xavi understands the ethos and the mentality behind Barcelona. Yes, the ideology used to be keep the ball, pass the ball, move the ball, receive, control. But I think Xavi understands that right now, this team doesn't have a Xavi. It doesn't have an Iniesta. It doesn't have a Cesc Fabregas or a Leo Messi. A player who can control the game, can dictate play, can just be a puppet master pulling strings from deeper in midfield, or perhaps taking on players and just setting alarm bells ringing in opposition defenses. I think right now, Xavi has to tailor his game plan and his strategies to compensate for Barcelona's lack of confidence and their overall lack of ability in certain areas. I think right now, Barcelona have been great away from home. Going to France and getting that 3-2 win was fantastic. Going to Madrid and getting a 3-0 win against Atletico Madrid is fantastic. But I think right now they're really missing the new camp, and that's why this season has looked so bad for them. I think their home form has really suffered. Xavi has created a situation where Barcelona are more compact and solid defensively. For Real Madrid, however, Coach Carlo Ancelotti could afford to take off top players and bring on other top players. He can have the privilege of having a player like Toni Kroos or Luka Modric on the bench, having a player like Fede Valverde on the bench, Joselu on the bench. And then you think about it, and Real Madrid are achieving this incredible amount of success right now without their first choice goalkeeper because Thibaut Courtois is still injured. Without one of the best defenders in the world in David Alaba because he is also still injured. They've had Antonio Rudiger at their disposal at times, but he also has had injury concerns. He's had consistency issues. But when they needed him to step up against Manchester City, he did. He held his nerve, he converted the penalty, and I think that's what Real Madrid need from all of their players right now, is just to understand that everybody has a certain role to fill. For that attacking trident of Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, and Rodrigo, it's just get goals. And that's what they do. They get goals. When you look at those numbers combined, it's, 55 goals between the three of them. And then it's, 28 assists. So there is a massive goal output. It's far more than Barcelona's. It's far more than a lot of teams in Europe right now. I think Real Madrid come in here as major favorites. I think it will be a shock if they don't win. I think if Barcelona win, they're just postponing the inevitable. If Real Madrid win, you might as well hand them the La Liga title right now on the day. My final prediction here, again, it's not a case of will Real Madrid win, it's a case of how many will they score. I'm gonna go with Real Madrid 3, Barcelona 1. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button, so you know exactly what to do. Um, thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.